We got Darth Plagueis versus Odium's Tretch, Kislev, and Tomb Kings. Trying to record some replays before the DLC is a little difficult. Because, for some reason, everybody's playing Norska. So it's like, alright, I don't want to cover Norska before Norska comes out. But man, there's a lot of Norska replays getting submitted. Looks like we have a conquest game. This must be on the quick battle ladder because I don't think Black Ark is a map most people use in tournaments. Watchmen in the Night, Armored Kossar ROR, 4 Kislevite Warrior Frontline. Then we have some Streltsies, Kossified Dervishes, 4 of those Dervishes. Little Grom, Double Snow Leopard, Boris Ursus, and a Frostmaiden of Ice. The Frostmaiden of Ice has Death Frost and Ice Maiden's Kiss for spells. Boris himself has his Shard Blade for clearing out clumps, and then Colossal Strike and Fury of Ursun to make him a spooky, scary duelist man. On the other side, for the Tomb Kings, we have a front line of Skeleton Warriors and a couple Ushabti Greatbows, one of which is the Chosen of the Gods, Skeleton Spearman backline, and then a bunch of Skeleton Horsemen and Nehekar Horsemen, with Cetra the Imperishable and his big kitty cat with 2 cheap spells to spam out healing. And this is a pretty straightforward Tomb Kings build. A lot of chaff infantry and light cavalry to try and distract, while the 4 Ushabti Greatbows and your big lord on his big mount try and get most of the actual damage done. So I imagine the Tomb Kings are going to want to just move forward as quickly as possible, try and take the point, and then grind forward and force the Kislevites back. It's probably their strategy to win. Ushabti Greatbows trying to snipe out Boris. Generally, if they hit, they do good damage against this kind of thing, but hitting small single entities with that kind of shot is difficult. They're quite easily dodged. As we can see, Boris is just running around in circles. I am a big fan of splitting your fire, so you have 4 Ushabti Greatbows, maybe have 1 shoot at Boris, 1 shoot at the Frostmaiden, 1 shoot at one Snowleopard, 1 shoot at the next one. Then it's hard to dodge with all 4 things. Or split even further and have like the Chosen of the Gods destroying the Watchmen in the Night and whatever, and have your single shot ones doing other things. But firing at all of the same things at all the same time, it's pretty easy to dodge with them, so a lot of this early game damage is getting mitigated. Snow Leopard's going YOLO mode. A little bit of an assassination attempt on the Chosen of the Gods. Little Grom is also firing over the top. Now, since Warhammer 3 came out, this has been a meta matchup. Tomb Kings and Kislev seem to find themselves at odds quite a lot, despite the fact that they're on such opposite sides of the planet that they would never actually fight each other. Little Grom versus Ushabti Greatbows has been a tale as old as time. A song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast. Armored Kossars, especially the Watchmen in the Night, should shred through the Skeleton Warriors quite easily. Ushabti Greatbows still having a hard time really making an impact on this game as of right now. We do need to see some of these Skeleton Horsemen get into action, and someone has to find their way back onto Little Grom and to get them in melee. Now, the Frostmaiden of Ice is routed off, first thing going well in this early game for the Tomb Kings. As Boris is going to take a fight with Cetra, and that's not a fight Cetra wins. Nero's Incantation of Vengeance is procced, giving him a bunch of physical resistance, but Boris is still a chunky lad. 55 melee defense, 735 weapon strength while he has both of his buffs popped, and he has a ton of bonus versus large. 41 bonus versus large while he has his buffs popped. So Cetra is going to lose that fight overall. Ushabti are trying to just fire point-blank range sideways into Boris. Maybe they'll get a little bit of damage out here and there, but the Chosen of the Gods are about toast. And Cetra's not having a good fight of it. Jap's Incantation of Curse Blades to give him a little bit of bonus versus large to fight back against Boris. Boris's buffs have worn off, so now he is a less threatening melee combatant. Still pretty spooky, and he's about to get a big buff to his melee defense. Heroic Resilience pops as he gets below half health, up to 69. Nice melee defense. Snow Leopard's fighting with random Chaff Horsemen. Both of them just swamped in Chaff Horsemen, but Boris is really giving it to Cetra right now. Considering their HP disparities on their mounts, Boris has been taking a lot more HP off the King of Kings. Percentage-wise, they're about equal, but that means Boris did really good work. Ushabti Greatbow still trying to support the fight. Terror Out takes Boris away as soon as the By Our Blood wears off. Little Grom looks like he's trying to fire at Cetra and take him out. Meanwhile, the Chosen Gods are going to finish crumbling away. Bounce power is slightly in Kislev's favor. Frostmaiden of Ice doing what she can to help out. And the Tomb Kings had a bunch of chaff infantry, but it looks like it has all died at this point. Maybe not all of it, but largely the Kislevites are ascendant on the front line. Still moving forward. They've taken the point, they're continuing to push back, and Little Grom has used almost all of his ammunition. Now some of the skeleton horsemen are getting on the back line, but those incredibly light cavalry are going to have a hard time getting any damage on Kislev's heavier infantry, like Streltsy. Boris does manage to rally. Cetra was not capable of chasing him down with only 58 speed. Boris is actually faster on his bear mount, which is a little surprising. Not complaining about it, it's just interesting. Death Frost overcasted. Looks like the overcast damage did not hit the Frost Maiden because she was so low. I'm like, wait, overcast, did she just die? Cetra's chilling in Little Grom's Arc of Fire. He's starting to crumble after the Death Frost took hold on him. He does cast physical resistance, mostly for the army-wide heal, as he now pulls away, realizing he's in Little Grom's shot. I just want to see if the cannonball's coming for him. Oh, it's coming for him. Oh, hits him right in the back. 9 HP, gets positive leadership, is gonna hold on. Meanwhile, Boris Ursus is dead or shattered off the battlefield. It looks like the Ushapti Greatbows must have taken care of him. Meanwhile, a Snow Leopard is alive and is out in the open. Can it run over to the 9 HP Cetra and finish him off? It doesn't look like it has realized it's free yet. Little Grom only has 5 shots left. The Tomb Kings do not have a lot of infantry left in this game, but Kislev is getting rather injured. We still have some Nehekar horsemen, the better of the cavalry options, not the skeleton horsemen. Nehekar horsemen are the 650 ones. Nice Ice Maiden's Kiss through the last skeleton spear. Frost Maiden just needs to be routed one more time and she'll shatter. So the Nehekar horsemen are on that beat, but Kislevite warriors get in a fight with them. Nehekar horsemen are going to take a lot of damage they really don't want to be taking. Cetra keeps casting spells as he is able to get a little bit of regen up. And the Ushapti Greatbows are going to try and kite this out, but it's going to be really difficult. Ushapti Greatbows are terrible at killing infantry. The ROR is amazing at killing infantry, but the regular ones, it's not their really cup of tea. It's going to be tough for the Tomb Kings. Little Grom has 2 shots left before he stops being a useful character in any capacity, though he did poke down some more Ushapti, and he's even getting them to crumble a little bit. So for Kislev, we have some 1/2 to 3/4 HP halberds. That's going to be difficult to get rid of. We have a full health chariot that has almost no more ammo, and a very wounded watchman in the night, though those armored Kossars are rather spooky, and everything else is negligible. If Cetra is able to slowly heal up, he could come back in the late game as a cycle charging terror piece, as long as he avoids range fire. But Little Grom is creeping forward slowly. 1 shot left, and he selects the Imperishable, who is maybe wandering back into his death. Little Grom, you gotta make this last shot count. Up over the hill, through the forest, to Grandmother's house we go. Do you kill the King of Kings? Kabam! He is dead with the final shot. Little Grom takes him out. At this point, it is doomed. One of the Ushapti Greatbows just fades away due to leadership issues. We also lost a skeleton spearman to leadership issues. And the Tomb Kings realize they can't win this game with 2 1/3 ammunition regular Ushapti and back out. Boris did very well. The Ice Maiden did okay. Infantry of Kislev did their job. Streltsy did okay as well. Kossovite dervishes seem to be good blockers, considering the fact that Little Grom was never threatened. And then Snow Leopards did okay, not really paying for themselves. Little Grom did fantastically. For Tretch, Cetra got 0 kills, so he did spend his whole time fighting Boris and then trying to stay alive. Very low value on that expensive lord, unfortunately, but I mean, Kislev had a ton of good tools for dealing with Cetra. Skeletons largely didn't get a lot of damage done, but that's not really their jobs. Light cavalry did okay, and the 4 Ushapti that were trying to carry the game, besides the Chosen of the Gods, got pretty good value. So, GG's, good slow push from Kislev. Roar. Subscribe, yes.